Good afternoon, everybody. As the time says here in Nigeria, my name is Dr. Mrs. Esther Chinedu Wordu. I am a lecturer at Federal College of Education, Technical, Omok, Rivers State in Nigeria. I am a virtual presenter, and I am here on this day, 25th June 2015, for my paper presentation entitled The Influence of Play on Social Development of Early Childhood Education Pupils in Rivers State of Nigeria. Let us go to the introduction. Play helps children to forge connections among themselves. It allows them to learn how to share, negotiate, and resolve conflicts and earn self-advocate skills when necessary. Play is the business of early childhood. Anyone who watches a child rush off to play can tell you the pleasure or the enjoyment a child derives from play. According to Goal 2010, play allows children to become increasingly competent in their social interactions. What we are talking about here is that through play, children learn how to share biscuits, toys, or their personal belongings. Not only that, it goes on to negotiations. Probably child A has sweets, while child B does not have. When child B demands for the sweets of child A says, no, I will not give you. Child B will say, no, don't worry, give me. When my daddy comes back, he will come back with bread. I will give you bread. You hear? That is negotiation skills. Before you know it, from the negotiation, the child goes on to the skill that can help them to settle conflicts. What are we talking about? If child A has any misunderstanding in course of that play with child B, maybe child C will just come into the matter. What is the problem? Okay, don't quarrel again, don't fight again. You hear? Come, let us play. That is a skill to settle conflict. Not only that, social interactions are displayed during associative play. The child plays with other children. They talk about the play, borrow and lend toys, follow one another, and try to control who plays in the group. All the children play similarly, if not identically. There is no division of labor and no organization around any goal. Right now, we want to understand that associative play could be combined with cooperative play. Cooperative play affords the child the opportunity to play a formal game or dramatize a situation. One or two children control who belongs to the group and direct another's efforts by division of labor. Let's pause for a while. This is telling us that in associative play, the children just come together. Permit me to use my dialect to recite a rhyme or sing a song the children normally use. They just come together. Remember, we are advocating for indigenous education. They just come together. Maybe this one will be playing nwa me bezila, ingenyegi sweet, ingenyegi bread. While the other one will be drumming, kong, 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 kong. But in cooperative play, there is a set goal. There is division of labor. The children can decide to sing a rhyme or a song like this. Remember, I've told you, we are advocating for indigenous education. So, once again, permit me to use my dialect. Ba bangolo, bangolo, ba bangolo, bangolo, idime, eye, onya mara to ya to ya. At that point, any child who fails to bow will be beaten. Or if it ends at a particular point, it is expected that the child standing at that point should take over the mantle. So that is what cooperative play is talking about. Remember, we have established it that in associative play, there is no form of goal. Nobody decides who to join the group. But in this particular one, there is division of labor. One or two people are appointed to control who joins the group and the activities of the group. Not only that, the people are after the activities, while in associative, they are just after staying together. So, according to Ifem said, developing good skills is necessary for the child to form healthy relationships and fit into social scenarios. According to him, play removes development problems, and that takes us to statement of the problem. Pupils' social development is neglected by mere visit to the schools in Rivers State of Nigeria. May look at the continuous assessment booklets and how pupils are made to sit in the classroom like adults without enough time for play reveal that social development of the early childhood education pupils in Rivers State of Nigeria is relegated. Therefore, this work sought to determine if pupils' social development is actually influenced by play, so that there could be suggestions or solutions in order for the social development of the early childhood education pupils to be improved. Now, let's look at the objectives of the study. Number one, to determine the influence of associative play on social development of early childhood education pupils. Number two, to determine the influence of cooperative play on early childhood education pupils. We go on to the research questions. Two research questions were answered in the study with corresponding null hypotheses formulated and tested at 0.05 alpha level. The questions are stated. Number one, to what extent does associative play relate to social development of early childhood education pupils? Number two, to what extent does cooperative play relate to early childhood education pupils? Then, like we said, the corresponding null hypothesis. One, there is no significant relationship between associative play and social development of early childhood education pupils. Number two, there is no significant relationship between cooperative play and social development of early childhood education pupils. Research method. Here we have the design, the population, the sample and sampling techniques, instruments, and the place I would like us to actually, the others anyway, please, you can go through them. The main work is also there. But I want us to look at the validation of instruments. The validation was content and phase validated by 3 experts in early childhood care and education department, and 2 experts in measurement and evaluation of Department of Educational Foundations, University of Uyo, Akwa Ibom, Nigeria. Let's go to the data analysis. Please, you can look at the reliability of the instrument, administration and collection of the instrument later. Data analysis. Simple percentage was used to answer the research questions, while PPMC was used to analyze the null hypothesis. this discussion of finding. The results of the research question 1 and null hypothesis 1 reveal the respondents with higher percentage, 70%, and R value of 0.760 respectively, opted for positive responses, which led to the rejection of the null hypothesis 1. Well, this could be attributed to the fact that all the children play similarly, leading to exhibition of interest, probably generally accepted interest, in order to be chosen as the group member. It may also be so because each child is interested in remaining with other children than the activity itself, and by so doing, social development occurs easily. It implies that caregivers need to encourage pupils to engage in associative play, which will not lead to any kind of social development, but the generally accepted type. In this study also, the findings of research question 2 and null hypothesis 2 prove that the respondents opted for positive responses, which also led to the rejection of the hypothesis. This means caregivers should see it a duty not just to allow children play as a means of giving them, the caregivers, time to rest, but as a conscious effort to develop the pupils' social skills. Conclusion: based on the findings from the study, the following conclusions were reached. There exists a significant relationship between associative play and social development. Also, there exists a significant relationship between cooperative play and social development. Well, there must be recommendations according to the statement of the problem that it was to be identified in order to provide solutions. So, recommendation 1: caregivers should encourage the early childhood education pupils to associate, to engage in associative play. Also, the significant adults in the lives of the early childhood education pupils should not cage them, but allow them to be involved in cooperative play. Thank you. See you face to face next year.